or to avenge or protect your whole people, or at least as many, a good many of your people. And your people always includes the innocent. Those that have killed, if justified, may represent others. If not justified, they may not represent others. You may only lie when you can't choose. Oh, I'm sorry, 15. You may only lie when you can't choose not to answer, and you can't choose not to answer when what you don't say will count against you, and what you say can be used against you. Even then, except where unholy laws restricting adult informed drug use or possession, it is always a good time for the truth. And it being a good time kind of requires it. Liars cannot represent anyone or anything. 16. You only get one shot. Everyone goes to hell when they die. No exceptions. Even Yehoshua, or Jesus, went to hell. And your resurrection isn't guaranteed. Only Jehovah can decide that. You only get as long as the average natural lifespan to leave your mark, or ideally progress science to the point of solving death and granting all alive immortality. If you do, find a way to go back in time to save all those that have ever died, at least those who are not anti-life on some sale. Those who posed as anti-life would be the only ones who got what they wanted, and their reward should be to keep it. Everyone else deserves one chance at immortality, and victims of the anti-life and the unforeseen events especially so. They got their chance taken away from them, and it should be returned as quickly as possible. No harm, no foul. Well, some harm. Now, in fact, if you have the ability to progress science to that end, you have the required responsibility to. And all of us owe it to each other to explore and truly check and see if we have that ability. We don't know if God did all that He could to get us to live longer, but maybe couldn't. He did His best. If He tried and tried but wasn't able, or if death served some vital or unseen purpose, or as part of some sensational plan that relies on the surprise of it. We don't really know. We don't know if we are the solution, like we were put here to solve this problem, and we were meant to fix it, not just for us, probably for everyone. And that it is still present just means that we're in the middle of the process of overcoming it. Or if our being is only the echo or a byproduct of already immortal beings, their lives, and we aren't even on God's radar, or we just develop so far away from anything else that we're likewise past the radar that could help us. No matter what the truth turns out to be, we have to assume that God wants us to conquer death on our own. We could be hard at work on it if and when God comes to finally fix it for us, and He'd certainly not fault us for trying. I see no great offense by trying to fix death. In turn, conquering it may be the very reason for our existence. Like I said, that could have been what we were made for. And to not do it would simply mean that it doesn't get done. So there's all sorts of options there, and even more that I couldn't think of. And really, what they come down to is we should try. 17. Don't treat anyone like it's their job to do something for you, especially for you, even if it is their job. Always act like always act like you had no room to ask. And when they please consider. It often leads to real favors, things they'll do for you. And it's usually a better day for the employee, whoever you're talking to. 18. Since bad associations spoil useful habits, it's your job to, while being mindful of the fact and not overextending yourself and getting spoiled, it's your job to be the good association that some people have. Good association builds and develops. It's the opposite of bad association. So you try to bring as many people up with you as you can. They'll steal from you. They'll lie to you. Most will never show improvement, but some will. Find them. There's such a thing as as a project friend, I guess you'd call it, person that you can and really that you must help develop along their path. Yeah, people that maybe they're the nerdy kid in class or whatever. You take them to some parties, to help them to develop. It's kind of your responsibility whenever you can. Let's see, number 19. The whole of the law is do what thou wilt. This is a lie. There are rules. Whenever they do not contradict God's laws, follow them. This obviously doesn't apply to most drug laws. That's limiting access to a gift from God and therefore wrong. So yeah, you don't have to follow the wrong laws. And intellectual property laws. You should really only retain rights for the first run of the new product. After that, the idea kind of belongs to everyone, really. Number 20. Never put down someone's expression unless they're expressing hate. You can make fun, but it has to be fun for the victim as well. Self-expression is a wondrous thing. It develops with time and skill. You don't want to do anything to prevent future iterations. You may not like this one, this particular project that they're doing, and that's allowed. But the descendant versions, they might be masterpieces. You never know. Number 21, don't just be an idea person. Come up with an idea, or when an idea hits, follow through till the end. Design it, build a prototype or a proof of concept, fine-tune it, and then plan production, even on the little ideas. And secure your own patents before you ever pitch the idea. You want to own your property. And I realize that's intellectual property, and that's kind of a joke, but if it's available, take advantage of it. 22, enjoy sex thoroughly. Know what gets you there, how it's done, how to communicate your needs, know how to masturbate, learn technique and tricks from porno. I learn a lot of technique and tricks from porno. Although on that point, not all of them are real world usable. Some of those are between two people who are getting paid to be there and are trying to give a certain impression to the camera, so they're not always real life applicable. Let's see. Develop a character, I guess, for the porno that you live. Do it often. Test your limits. I believe in one partner at a time and being completely broken up with one partner before moving on to the next, and not breaking up simply because things got hard. It's more with it to fix the problems that you face rather than go out and look for new problems to be fixed. 23. Revenge is a social tool. Leave revenge and judgment to your God or karma or the police if your faith is strong. But take it if you're afraid the guilty will get away with it. Make sure you're not wrong or succumbing to like a fear toxin. It's not just justice, it's a deterrent. Have fun with it. Be creative. But don't get excessive. If your revenge is over a debt, the act of revenge is the payment of that debt. Account settled, you may not collect again. Make it count. You can't get revenge over and over for the same thing. 24. Don't make loans to people missing fingers. Obviously, people give people a chance to demonstrate change or development, but use discernment in knowing if they're going to rip you off. Do your absolute best to minimize both. Don't be the third finger off of the same hand. Just don't give them a chance. Yeah, I think that makes sense. 25. As for drugs, drugs are, of course, a gift from God. They don't work on animals that lack the cerebral cortex. They just experience terror. Human may experience terror, but they alone have the ability to be enriched by it, to possibly have a good experience. That's not to say that everybody who's on them should be on them or will have a good experience, or that everyone should try them. Drugs aren't for everyone, and they can hurt. But for those that can handle it and want to, there should be no law restricting them, except to restrict age of purchase and who has the right to sell them, that sort of thing. Again, as long as these laws don't restrict adult access.